In this video, let's take a look at how you can work with tempo changes within your project. For example, if you're working to a video, you might decide that halfway through the scene, it feels like there needs to be a tempo change, so you want to adjust that tempo to match with the visual. In this example, I want to add in another video, like I showed you in a previous video, where you could use multiple videos on your video track. And then I want to show you how you can change the tempo using the tempo track. So in my pool, I've got a second video over here. I'm just going to grab that and drag this into the video track. If I zoom up, I can actually take this and snap it right next to the other video. So if I open up the video preview player and play back, it's going to go straight into that second video. So let's just imagine that this is one continuous video and over here there's a scene change and you feel that the tempo needs to change as it goes into this new scene. So to do that, go to the project, add track, and add a tempo track. So yeah, there's a tempo track over here. I'm just going to increase the height to expand it to show you the details. This is giving me my current tempo, and then you can choose the type of changes that you want to occur when you create new points along this tempo track. First, let's take a look at jump. So what this means is when you create a new point on your tempo track and adjust it, it's going to jump straight from the previous tempo to the next. And I also want to use the same example of where I showed you how you determine your tempo by using the grid to determine where you want that scene to end so you can figure out the tempo for that. So I want the tempo to slow down as it hits this new scene. So I'm going to create a new point, and then you can see it changes to hand tool, and I can adjust that tempo. And as I'm adjusting it, you can see that it's showing the bar that it's on and the new tempo. Now let's say I want this video to end at bar 23. I can actually just change the tempo over here, and that looks pretty close, but let's just go to bar 23 and zoom up all the way so we can get a very close idea on the tempo. So I can increase that up. That's too much. So I'll go back to 101. It's too little. Then I can go to the smaller amounts over here. So let's change that to 101.5. That's still too much. To 4. That's nearly closer. To 3. To 2. Let's see, to 1. And that is pretty close. I could go even to a more micro level and get it as close as possible. So there we're sitting at 101 BPM, 0.103. So if I just zoom out now, so we can see the two videos here, and just before the tempo change, I just want to turn off or mute this one pad shop where it has that wobble sound and a long tail. And I just want to turn on the click track as well so we can hear the tempo change. So here we go. That's at 128, and here comes the change. So that was quite drastic. So that's the jump. Now let's take a look at another way where we use the ramp. I want it to ramp from bar 9 to bar 11 to get down to that tempo. That's 101.103, but that might change. So let's just undo the changes to get back to 128. And I'm going to set it to jump first from here. Then over here, I'm going to create a ramp. So as I drag that down, you can see there's a gradual decline on the tempo. So we want that to end at bar 23. So I'm going to drag this down and then maybe just zoom up here. You can see that's a bit over. So that point, bring down to 99 and maybe adjust that slightly. So we're just going to have to do some scrolling around just to make sure just to make sure that looks fine. That looks good. And that is slightly before. So I'm just going to nudge that in. That's probably going to offset things slightly. But we're trying to get as accurate as possible. That's pretty close. I think we can leave it like that for demonstration purposes now. So going back from here, let's take a listen. So there you go. That's how to use a fixed tempo jump and a tempo ramp. Depending on the scene and how you want the music to work, you can determine which way is going to be the best for you and your music and sounds that are going to accompany the video. So you might just want to see when you want to use different tempos. For example, maybe you're entering a fight scene with your video and you want a faster tempo there, or maybe it's going to a more romantic scene where you want the tempo to slow down to match the mood with the visual and the accompanying music. Also, you can use the tempo track as a guide. For example, if you're working with a very long play video file, you can draw in different tempo maps for the different sections. And just by eyeing out the tempo track, you could probably see where the scene changes are and where your compositions change. So it's great having this visual of the tempo track where you can see your tempo and the tempo changes. And then you can see if those tempos are going to match the video. Now, these scene jumps and these tempo changes can be quite jarring. So in the next video, let's take a look at some musical ways that you can smooth out or create tension and release with these scene changes using some transition effects. Catch you in the next video.